Hello, my name is Sam, and today I will be showing you how to set up parallel processing in your DAW. I will be recording a screen from my DAW called FL Studio. So the first things first, I'm going to play you a song that I've been working on, or a little bit of a song. Okay, so that's some of the chorus. I've got a few, you've got a melody, I've got some chords, I've got a bass. Those are all mixed. My drums I haven't yet mixed. So we're going to work through that now. So first thing I'm going to do is pull up my mixer track. And as you can see here, I've already got my instrument tracks already set up and ready. So to kind of set up parallel processing, you need to set up in two bus tracks. And basically a bus track is a grouping of subtracks that allows you to kind of easily manipulate them. So you can apply one type of processing or volume setting or whatever type of setting to a series of subtracks. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a bus track for the dry signal, so drum dry. I'm going to call it drum dry. And then I'm also going to create a bus track for the wet signal, drum, and we're going to call it drum wet. So drum dry is kind of where I will route the audio signal through, and drum wet is where I'll apply all the processing. So I'm going to select all the tracks that I want to process, and also the destination track, and I'm going to go ahead and route those. And then I'm going to do the same thing for my wet bus track. So we're going to go ahead and route that too. And so you can see on my instrument tracks now, I've got these two green lines. One that links to my drum dry track and one that links to my drum wet track. And you can see here I've got the sends at the bottom that I can adjust. So let's kind of see. Now let's do this. Now let's apply some processing. So I'm going to put on some compression here, and I'm also going to put on some EQ here, and I'm going to set my presets. Okay, so now I want to kind of show you how that sounds. So the first things first, let's mute out of the wet so we can hear the drum. Okay, now let's add the wet signal processing back in. So you can kind of tell how the sounds change. It's a little bit brighter with some of the processing that I did. After I've created both my bus tracks, then I need to kind of route both of those to kind of a master track so that I can adjust the fader. And basically doing this will allow me to kind of adjust the overall volume of the drums and also the level of processing too, because I don't want to reduce or raise the volume of the drums and the processing stays the same. That wouldn't make sense. So to kind of give you an example of how this works, so you can see as I reduce my master track, the volume and the processing goes away, and as I increase it, it comes back. Okay, and so that's how you set up parallel processing on your drums. And so this was a pretty tough process for me because I had to basically translate what the instructor was showing in his DAW, which I believe is either Pro Tools or Logic, into kind of my own DAW. And so I had to go to my DAW's manual online and kind of look how to map different tracks, and then also even watch some YouTube videos as well on how it was done. So it was a good learning process, and then also just even like recording using this thing, I did to do so many different takes, and like the last one I did was like 5 minutes and 42 seconds, and I was frustrated, but I think I kind of got the hang of it, and this was a good learning experience, and hopefully you learned something as well. Thanks.